What you are looking at is a hose reel from 1882. Back at that time, horses were part of the Winnipeg Fire Department, and when it wasn't appropriate for the horses to get so close to a fire, the firefighters would hook themselves up to this apparatus and pull the hose close to the fire. We have certainly come an awfully long way in our firefighting efforts here in the city of Winnipeg. Joined by George Tredenik, and we are at the Firefighters Museum of Winnipeg, and this is just one of the great pieces of history of the fire department that you folks have here and that you have on display. There are some really neat things here.
Some wonderful things going right back to the start of the Winnipeg Fire Department, the hose reel, the steam pump, and the hose wagon. And then we have the first motorized, one of the first motorized, 1928 LaFrance. We have a 1930. We also have a 1958 Mack truck fire pump. And we have several units in storage.
Now, George is a retired firefighter. You've fought fires for 37 years for the city of Winnipeg?
I did, yes.
And interestingly, you told us off camera that this was your very first fire hall.
It was 1965, October.
Very exciting.
Had a lot of fires out of here.
So now, this isn't an operational fire hall anymore. Obviously, it has become a museum. So talk about this museum, and it's run by the firefighters. You all man it. There's
All
several.
volunteer, yes.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about this place.
Okay, it was in 1981. We were asked to several firefighters and retired firefighters to do a project for our centennial. It led to the publication of a book, Alarm of Fire, which led to the collecting of photographs and artifacts, eventually led to the opening of this museum when it closed in 1990.
Now, there are some amazing pieces of history here. I've had an opportunity in the past to walk around and see some of the things here. It's fantastic. I mean, you could literally spend hours. You've got everything from photographs to old pieces of equipment, not just the trucks, but smaller pieces of equipment that the firefighters would have used, things that were rescued from fires. You name it, this stuff is all here. Where did you get it all?
Well, a lot of firefighters were collectors, retired firefighters, and when we got our museum, a lot of firefighters turned their collections over to us. We tracked down certain pieces of apparatus throughout Manitoba. The 28 and 30 LaFrance were found in St. Lazare. We purchased them, and now they're back home.
All right, well, people can actually come down here. Now, it's not open all the time. The museum isn't open all the time. Can you give us an idea of when people can come down or how they can make arrangements to come down and have a tour of the museum?
Well, we're open every Sunday.
Okay.
And from about 10 to 3. But if you wish to arrange a tour, you can call 942-4817.
All right. Now, I do have to ask you before we go, your glasses are very interesting. Tell us about those.
Well, they're called combat glasses, and they're used by where you have to go into atmospheres that are dangerous, and they fit under your face piece, so that you can keep your glasses, read gauges, write down things and things. So but they're so efficient. I've kept them.
Excellent. Well, they look fantastic. George, thank you so much for this. Again, folks, information is on the bottom of your screen if you'd like to come down here to the Firefighters Museum of Winnipeg. They'd be happy to have you, and definitely it's a great way to get a look back at some of Winnipeg's history.